9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln Families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, partly sunny skies this morning, then a chance of snow this afternoon. It'll be breezy too with the high near 38. Tonight, mainly cloudy and breezy with the low around 21. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return. The high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Male. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Male, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie-cutter about Limitless Male? The incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Welcome in to We Talk Facts with 9-year NBA veteran and Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland and two-time Nebraska Football National Champion Clester Johnson. Talking and taking it's in day-to-day living. Sit back, relax, and join the show with 9-year NBA vet and Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland. And two-time Nebraska Football National Champion, Clester Johnson.
And you know what it is. It is another banger right here. WTF, We Talk Facts. It is Thursday. Shout out to all the listeners, those who are tuning in. Get your wine, put it in the air. E Strick, Clester Johnson. We sipping and tipping. What's happening, my boy? How are you on this cold, frigid, thirsty Thursday with a good glass of wine? How you doing?
You know, in the comfortable confines of Casa de Johnson, I can drink and I can do it in the safeness. I don't have to get out in those streets. So let's enjoy.
Let's enjoy. Thank you guys for tuning in once again for another episode of WTF We Talks. We got a banger for you guys today. Great topics in store, and we're going to get right into this. Shout out to all of those WTF fans, listeners, and comrades. 402-464-5685 if you're listening by radio, or you can tune in and join in to the conversation by way of the StreamYard text line as well. We appreciate you guys for joining us here. Yo, Cless, we got some good stuff in store, man. Let's get right to it. The first topic of the day, and I think it's not a controversial one, but it's one I think that needs to be discussed. Can you be an effective analyst? We look around on ESPN, we look on Fox Sports, we look on game days, we look on whatever broadcast you may be listening to, First Take, all these different shows that are on, and they're analysts of all kinds. Those that be men that don't necessarily have not has necessarily played the sport, been in the sport, been around the sport, but in some form or fashion happen to be discussing and analyzing the sport. And so we want to get into that discussion of whether you're a man or if you're a woman and you did not play the game, can you be an effective analyst? Start the conversation off, Class. What's your assessment of the topic? What's your thoughts on the topic? How do you feel about the topic?
You know, Eric, this has been a very, very touchy subject over the years. You can look at it we can go a bunch of different routes with this one. I'm just going to start off by saying this. There is what I think, and then there's what others think. And obviously we don't all think the same. For me, it all comes down to credibility, right? And that's just the way I'm built, right? I tend to listen to somebody who I know have been in the trenches, who knows what it feels, and there's levels to it, right? There's people who do a very good job of describing the event, and then there's people who have been really good at the sport, but when you listen to them talk, you go, he don't paint a really good picture based on who he is as a person and what he's done. Like, for instance, Magic Johnson became a coach, right?
Yeah.
That's probably an example that you're going to bring up. Michael Jordan as an owner, they've said that he hasn't done a good job of analyzing talent, right? So overall, I think that when we look at these sports talk shows over the years, when I looked at it, initially it didn't start out that way. There were not a lot of players as analysts, right? It started off as like sports writers and people who just are around the sport and they evaluate it and they're sitting in the locker rooms. I still find that part kind of crazy that men and women both after the game, they'll go right into the locker rooms. That might be something I need you to touch on for me. Like, how did it feel to have women just walk right into your locker room? There's guys walking around, they're asking you questions. They might even been able to see some conflicts. Guys maybe yelling at each other, coaches, and, I just think it's weird. But for me, I tend to lean more towards people who played. And if you didn't play, you better be really good. Like really, like for instance, like a Brian Windhorst, right? I can listen to Brian because you could tell he's been around it for a long time and he's just ingratiated himself in the fabric of basketball. So he knows it really well. But there's always that element of things that he don't know. But for the most part, I think he does. Just using him as an example, he does a pretty good job of breaking things down.
Well, I can speak on that. I can honestly say that in my time, it was very rare that women would actually be in there. But I can tell you that I definitely, shortly after the game, we didn't been in the showers. I got towels on, I'm walking around slanging, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
I'm just saying, pause. I'm just saying. I'm getting dressed, you know what I'm saying? It was wild. You got other people, and at times the locker room is a very kind of sacred place, both for your teammates, your coaches, and to just have people meandering around in that safe space, it was kind of tough. But I do want to speak to some things because you said something about people that are involved in the game. Like, for example, I love Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was a tremendous player. He did his thing. Terry Porter, great career, great point guard in the NBA and one of the better eras of the league. Just weren't great coaches, just like you spoke about Michael Jordan, just were not necessarily great coaches. Then you have individuals like Tony Romo. Tony Romo gives great insight as an analyst because he's able to break down coverage breakdowns on that, route trees, things that they were doing, why this specific play broke open. And then there's other guys, that are a little bit monotone, but they're pretty good at what they do. Like, for example, Troy Aikman, he does pretty good. And then there's others that are just not very good at it. And it's okay because it's practice. But I go back to this point. Clester, when we went to school, let's be real about it. There were people that were very book smart, but not necessarily street smart, so we would say. Some people, and there's a difference between that. And it kind of crosses over is in this element as well, I think, in sports. I, being a person that both coached as well as refereed, as well as now doing analytical stuff and been on TV, worked for Fox Sports as well, doing Maverick stuff and also with the Huskers. And I may not be the best at it, but I am able to give some different perspectives on things and see things that not necessarily the other person may be able to see, especially as a referee. There's what they call a feel for the game. And there's being able to see things happen, develop, knowing what to put a whistle on and knowing what not to. And that comes with just that knowledge that you have of playing the game and what makes sense and what doesn't, the communication that you're able to have. And we're seeing some of this issue sometimes now in the NBA, where you're having very Ralph Tresvant type referees because they don't understand, the dynamics. They don't understand a reaction behind, when you dunk on somebody, there's an emotion that comes with that. And you're book smart because by rule, yeah, you can understand, maybe they don't want that. You may hit them with a T or some form of a flagrant one or something like that. And there's something that comes with understanding that it may not fit in that particular moment. And so that's one of the things that I would see. And then I happen, one other thing I want to add to that is I had a really good, me in the summertime, especially when I was living in Dallas at the time, guys like me and Michael Finley and Nick Van Exel and some NFL guys and some, we would have this group called the BGA. We get together and we play golf, pretty much every day. And Nick Van Exel and I were having a discussion about this, and there was frustration from him about that fact, because what you're seeing now as well as coaches, you're seeing a lot of guys that were video coordinators, that were analytic guys, that were people in that frame that find themselves getting high positions as coaches. And it's because of the book smartness, the way that the analytics of the game, they're good at that, but they're not good at the messaging and being able to convey the message to the players and the relatability and those things that come with being, in some instances, a good coach. Yeah, right. You may have things that you think may work by way of drawing up information and plays and things like that. But at the same time, you may not necessarily be able to have that relatability. And you're seeing some of the successes and people are wondering, it's not necessarily that Deion's a great X and O guy, but he's an understanding of what happens in that locker room, what happens afterwards, the feeling of it. Don Nelson was good at it because he understood the tiredness of the game. So there would be times where he would say, you know what, just show up at the game. We'll go over the scouting report there. There would be times where he would say, okay, we're going to practice, but then he would understand the dynamic of how hard to practice or, what to do in that practice that would not wear us out. Whereas an analytic guy would just be thinking so much about these plays and these circumstances and these situations. We need to get this done. That sometimes convolute, the situation and how it works.
I would say you obviously, the great ones have balance, right? And what I mean by that is how to incorporate analytics, emotion, along with the messaging. Like Phil Jackson, to me, epitomized what the ultimate coach was, right? Because he obviously knew how to read each player. He knew that what he said to Dennis, he didn't say that to Mike. He didn't say that to Scotty, because they always, everybody responds different. Yeah. And back to your analysts about these Ralph Tresvant. When we say Ralph Tresvant, we mean emotional or sensitive referees. Some of them don't know the difference between taunting and emotion, right? Because sometimes it's just an emotional thing that you've been able to create this incredible play and you just get the Holy Ghost in you, right? But it ain't about that other person. It ain't about it's just about, hey, listen, I just infused my team and the crowd or whoever. I may have shut the crowd up, or I may have got the crowd up because of what I did. And if they don't know, or
I may have teabagged you on a dunk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gave some shot. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? If they haven't felt
I might have posterized you. I might have pinned your stuff to the glass, and I might say something like, "Get that up out of here." I mean,
and that's okay. And that's okay. It's okay. It's tone and how you do it, right? Like if you getting off in somebody's face, right,
and walk up on them,
and maybe you put your hands on them, or do a Scottie Pippen and walk over and top
put them down and walk over, right?
Put your gonads all up in the face. Like some of that is too much.
Pause. Like, for example, you remember the iconic situation, Michael Jordan, frustrated all those years from what the Detroit Pistons was doing to him, fouling him, hacking him, knocking him down, beating him up, and they talk some trash to him, and he dunks on him, and he goes over there, remember he it's an iconic moment. That would have been a T today, bro.
Yeah.
That would have been a T.
Yeah, it's too much. So, for me, Eric, the people, a lot of people don't realize this, Eric. I'm going to bring out something today that a lot of people didn't know. Coach George Darlington, who was a legendary coach, never played football.
Nebraska.
He was a lacrosse player. And I always often wonder how him and Coach Osborne were how was he able to convince Coach Osborne that he would be the right man for the job? Because obviously he got that DB job in Nebraska, was there for a long time, and produced a lot of great players.
Pros,
right?
Yeah.
Now, I do know that George Darlington had a communication issue. That was a big problem with Coach Darlington. His relatability was, especially with some of the more inner city kids, but some of them were just so good and they wanted to play the position that they were able to just kind of
overcome
that. But today's kid, that just not happening. Like you gotta be great at one or the other, or you gotta be very good at analyzing and being able to be an analytical person, or you gotta be very relatable, or you can go into homes, you can sit down and you got a golden tongue, right? You just bringing in everybody. It's like, hey, I'm going to recruit and bring them in, and your job is going to be to break down analyze what we need to do to get this thing to championship levels, right?
Right.
There's not a lot of people out there like that, Eric, that got them both. You mentioned Deion. Obviously Deion got a golden tongue, and I'm not gonna say Deion don't know.
Right, the X and O stuff.
The X and O's.
Right.
But I think he does know how to be a CEO and say, hey, listen, I'm dealing with a lot of things here. I'm dealing with school. I'm dealing with, kids, making sure they're getting their grades, making sure they're eating right, make sure they're working out, recruiting. Your job is to do this. The X's and O's on offense. Your job is to do this on defense. So, that's what a head coach is these days. It's a lot less about doing the X's and O's, especially in football.
Right.
But I do believe that a head coach can go into either room and able to break down, like in basketball. I'm sure head coaches, they can talk defense and offense, what they need, what they feel like their team needs to do. And if you're in charge of that, hey, listen, I'm going to put you in charge of putting our defense together. And if it isn't working, I'm going to come to you and you need to give me some answers, right?
Yeah.
And if it ain't working, that's when you lose your job, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is today.
Well, I think there could be a combination before we go to break, class. And shout out to Theo 3 and D, who says average NBA players seem to be good coaches. Casey Jones, Monty Williams, Rick Carlisle. I think you can even throw Tyronn Lue in that. You know what I'm saying? Tyronn Lue he found a good niche as far as understanding.
Tyronn wasn't an all-star but he's good. He's good.
Well,
he's
yeah. Jock Vaughn, guys like that, who have a way. He also mentioned Doug Christie as well as being one of those guys. And this is why I want to say this before we hit break. I think you can have a good combination of that. And that's why it's imperative and important for you to be able to sync those and have a symbiotic relationship, having a good amount of those guys with you. I think Mark Jackson was a tremendous coach and was a phenomenal player before he left. And, you now have Steve Kerr and guys like that are doing it at the level. So I think if you have a good combination of those guys on your crew, as far as your staff, and you're able to bond those guys together and take those minds and mold them into a good unified group, I think you can have success as far as being a good staff.
Yeah. My last comment on this one, Eric, is a good coach can recognize their weaknesses.
Yeah.
And not always feel like, hey, I'm the smartest man in the room, but they know how to bring out and find what they need to make their organization as great as it needs to be to get to consistency, number one, championship level, camaraderie, good culture. They're aware of all of that, right? And I'm going to tell you, there are some coaches, I don't know how they get in a position, and I'm sure you've seen it too, Eric. Throughout the NBA, you've seen guys, their assistants, their head coaches, and you go, man, how did that happen?
Yeah. And with that in mind, before we take our first break, I got to give credit to like Erick Spoelstra. Down in Miami, he was analytic, he was a video guy, but I think he understood what I just said because if you look at his staff has a component and an element of that a basketball, been around it, played it, mind on his coaching staff as you look down at the guys who have been there and have done it for a long time.
What about Brad Miller? Is it Brad Miller? The Celtics GM.
Oh, Stevens. Yeah, Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens.
Now he was really good at
Butler. He was really good at Butler. He was good with the Celtics. It seems like he has a little bit of that, both of that deal too.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Say, what do you guys think? 402 again, 402-464-5685, as well as tapping into the stream. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and if we get an opportunity, we'll like to share those. Coming up next, listen, WTF Talk Facts is not always just about sports, because we're going to get into a new segment that we've created called the OG Perspective. Clester being an OG in the football ranks as far as a national champion, two-time national champion. Erick Strickland being an OG, doing it at different levels as well. We're going to talk about an OG perspective when we come back right here. WTF, we talk fact, 93.7 Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: partly sunny skies this morning, then a chance of snow this afternoon. It'll be breezy too with the high near 38. Tonight, mainly cloudy and breezy with the low around 21. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return. The high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clester for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovoma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sandhills Global Event Center, 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
Join us Friday, January 10th as the Lincoln Stars host USA Hockey National Team Development Program for Star Wars Night at the Ice Bars. It's the first of two games this weekend, January 10th and 11th, as the Stars take on the U7 teams in a pair of games at the Ice Bars. Don't forget to join us on Saturday as well, as it's Buddy Pass night in the capital city. Tickets for both games are available for purchase now, and you can head over to LincolnStars.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years. And I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
We're back on WTF We Talk Facts, and right now it is time for the OG perspective.
Oh yes. Well, pass that on to me, and I'll kick this off, Eric. I want to start this section off by saying this. The fact that we are at the age that we're at, and don't look it, I might say we don't look it, right?
I'm 25. What you talking about? You?
Because you look good, my brother. You look good. That's all I want to say. You look good.
I went to college only 5 years ago.
Absolutely. And I just want to say this. We've had a wealth of time on this earth, and we've been able to see things from the 80s, 90s, all the way up now to the 20s, 2020. I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying 2025.
Wow.
That's crazy. But Eric, give me your OG perspective. I'm going to run off a few things, and I need your OG perspective on how it was during this time. The first OG perspective is this. Remember we had landlines? Do you remember when you would make a call to somebody and it was busy? And you'd be like, dang, I called them back 3 or 4 times. It's been 30 minutes. They still on the phone. Eric, can you tell me about a time when you were using your landline phone and you couldn't get through?
Yeah, bro, because I was trying to call that fine honey I just met, you know what I'm saying, at Planet Soul or at the Parthenon, where, you know what I mean, I was out. And here's the crazy thing about that from an OG perspective. To even go further than just the and you trying to call back because you really want to holler. You trying to get in. Or Clester, I'm trying to holler at my boy. Hey, man, we about to go meet at the West Roads. Let's go out here and get it in. But here's the thing about the OG perspective. We have these cell phones now, Cless, that everything can go on the cell phone. Matter of fact, you have sick if you lose your cell phone. Because all the now the numbers go up in the cloud. But there was a time when you lost your phone and you lost all your contact. I mean, I had all the numbers and I'd be sick to my stomach if I lost the phone. But even more than that, back then, it's a drug. Back then, you used to have big time brain memory. Because if she ran the number to you, you didn't always have a pen available. You didn't always have a napkin. You used to have to remember that number and kind of go and get to the bar and say, hey, can I use a pen? And you had to remember that, otherwise you was in trouble. Same thing with maps, right? Now you just go on and put in ... and, you know, Siri or whatever her name is, she get to talking to you and tell you where you need to go. Back then, you used to have to remember landmarks. You used to have to remember where you needed to go. And so there was frustration that came with that until you got to your Scottail Pager.
Eric, let me interject real fast. Do you know my children? I got children. They don't even understand that. They don't know what call waiting is. They don't know what a busy signal is. They don't know what clicking over is. Like, they don't know what three-way calling is. You know, I'm calling
when you had to push it. When you had to push it 2 times.
You had to push
to get that click over.
Eric, I got another OG perspective. Give me an OG perspective on this. Remember, you can only watch cartoons Saturday morning? Only Saturday morning. And now they got the Cartoon Network. You can watch it anytime. So tell me about when you had to get up on Saturday morning and your dad and your mom made you clean up.
Man.
Right?
And you didn't have the record button. We didn't have the record. We didn't have where you could record it back then. You had to be on spot, on time to watch the show. Yeah, it was frustrating because we had chores. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, class. OG perspective. Frustration because I used to have to do chores. I used to have to get outside, mow the grass. I used to have to be taking trash out, wash dishes. Now, when we used to have to clean up from the OG perspective, we used to have to get out that dust with that old rag, and you used to have to dust behind everything and move everything. And if you didn't do it, baseboards, sweep, mop with the old mop where you have to string it out. Like you don't have the easy ones now where you used to have to pull the thing and then strung it out for you. You had to use it, you had to do that, all that. The pine saw smelled all over the house. Yeah, that's the OG perspective on that. Didn't like it. Frustration because I used to want to watch Scooby-Doo back in the day.
Hey, listen. Give me your OG perspective on when you used to go to the mall, go to your favorite outfit store, your favorite store, how people dress now compared to, then. Give me your OG perspective on that. I want to know.
All right, here we
What
go.
are your thoughts?
Here we go now. Listen, we talking facts today, right?
Yeah, talk facts. Give it to me. Raw and uncut.
Okay, so here's the thing. One thing about dressing is there's something kind of weird about it because the old school stuff in some way finds itself coming into the new. It's like a recycle. Back back in the 70s, 80s, people was wearing the bell bottoms and stuff like that. Your jeans was kind of skinny. Then you went to the baggy jeans and the baggy pants. And then you had to do the high waters where you had to roll them up with the penny loafers and stuff. See, I worked at Jeans West. See, you know what I'm saying? So I know a little bit about, the color, the cross colors and all that stuff. Yeah, that didn't come back. But so the OG perspective on that is there's something that's happened today that would have been trouble for Stricky. I'm gonna be honest. We talking facts. I'm gonna tell you. It's the thing that they call yoga pants. Listen, my boy. If I was at Bellevue West, Clester Johnson, and somebody came in with them yoga pants, I got 3 children. It might have been trouble for Stricky. I'm 3-4 more right now.
If you got a fan at home, just turn it on. You turn it on because you need to. I'm gonna tell you what's really different to me from yesteryear to today. Everybody want Gucci this, Prada that.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Right. Ladies want red bottoms. Some people want Birkin bags. Like you used to be able to afford a good J-Dub outfit. Matter of fact, it was very common for me to go to school and see 2 or 3 other fellas with the same
thing on.
That's
we didn't care. And we didn't care.
And we didn't care, right?
Didn't care.
It'd be like Jeans West. They'd be like, yeah, it was on sale this weekend. Was there just an hour or 2 before you were there.
So, the Kmart Wranglers. Don't get it. I was at Kmart.
If it was
with the blue light special.
Hey, listen, expensive. I'm trying to think of an expensive brand when we were growing up. It would have been maybe Burberry, Burberry.
Jabot.
Oh man.
Jabot.
If you
had
had
some Jabot jeans, you was cracking.
If you had some Jabot jeans, absolutely. There's one more. There's another one too. Izods.
Izod was popping.
If you had Izod on,
Izod was popping.
That's how we knew. I'm like, hey, listen, that shirt. Like if you had a $30 shirt on back then, I mean that's expensive.
Right.
Man, today $30 is like that's $30.
Yeah.
Obviously the value of the dollar has changed, but
unfortunately, we hey, listen, we can go all night on OG perspective, but unfortunately, we gotta take a break.
We gotta take a break,
man.
Okay, all right.
Unfortunately, we gotta
because I had another good one for you, but
I know you did. We're gonna hold off. Stay tuned for next week. Come on back. We got more OG perspective for you. But a popular segment that y'all tend to like, y'all that reached out to, y'all like it a little bit, is shout out to Shauna Snyder. Talked about them Friday night videos. MTV, where I was sitting up watching Michael Jackson with my knife under my pillow because I thought Thriller was coming at me. So shout out to Shauna Snyder. We appreciate you for tuning in tonight as well. Yeah, Bellevue West in the house. Right. But we're gonna come back with a favorite segment of If I Could, I Would. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. 93.7 Ticket.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sand Hills Global Event Center. 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had, with most clubs open 24 hours, so you can work out your way on your time. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 10th. See Home Club for details.
Old School with DP and J.
It would take a different type of team to recruit Jay Foreman coming out of high school. Because I didn't lift weights. I didn't do any of that. I didn't do camp. So you had to have somebody that had some vision. Well, they don't, a lot of these coaches right now, and especially with the 105 and NIL, they don't have to have vision right now. You saw what Deion Sanders says, look, I'm recruiting 8 to 10 guys out of high school. I expect you to play. If you don't play by your first year or showing that you're going to be able to be a starter or contributor by the second year, you're gone.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. The Adam Carricker Show.
That is what the 12-team playoff does. It makes the end of the regular season more exciting until we realize, hey, the teams that are 10 through 12 are just going to get killed. So getting in doesn't really matter. All that doesn't matter is Oregon, Ohio State regular season. Matchup doesn't matter. Ohio State, Michigan, that rivalry's now been devalued. And to me, that's what I see.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
Finishing up on WTF We Talk Facts, a final segment here of If I Could, I Would. Clester Johnson, talk to your boy.
Eric, if I could, I would. I got a few things that's been on my mind lately, and I need your perspective on it, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, this first one, I generally believe in diplomacy when it comes to solving problems. But if I could, I would. I should not get an assault. If I say thank you to somebody and they don't say it back, like if I hold the door for you, you just walk right through, I should be able to go up and just give you a nice little slap behind your head and say, yo, I just showed you some love. Have you ran into those people that, listen, Eric, you've been very pleasant to them. You thank you and all that, and they just showed you no love back.
Yeah, I have been.
No assault for being able to just give somebody a quick little bam.
I've been in those situations. I've been in those situations, and I'm going to tell you, I've been generous in opening doors. I've been generous in, making ways for people to be comfortable, and they just look at you side-eyed and all kinds of funny and just act like that's what you're supposed to do, type of thing. And trust and believe, if I could, I would do what what's his name? Charlie Murphy. What's his name? Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
What are the 5 fingers say to the face? Smack. That's what I would do. If I could, I would.
Okay. Here we go. If I could, I would. I will require all stoplights now to have a camera on it for people running red lights and green arrows. Eric, how many times have you been at the stoplight? You see the green arrow, people go, and they just keep going. The green arrow is done. And you'll see 4 or 5 more cars just come through. And you like, they just testing your gangster. Like, you ain't gonna hit me. I'm gonna keep going. they should get tickets automatically. They should have cameras for people running that green area, Eric. Tell me you've been in that situation.
I've been in that situation, and I'm going to go a little bit further. Okay. If insurance was not a problem, if I could, I would run right into their side door, whatever side they was on. If I could.
No, you wouldn't, Eric.
If I could,
go right through them.
I would straight barrel them. And if insurance was not a problem and my insurance was not going to go up, I would.
Eric, I wasn't there. I wasn't expecting that answer.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the next level up.
And even more than that, it's the ones that be blocking your turn. Look, they know that this is an entranceway, and I'm trying to get in, and they blocking my turn, or they speed up to block my turn. If I could, I would sideswipe them too.
Okay, all right. I wasn't expecting it. You know, I thought I was being a little bit testy, maybe a little bit on the violent side, but you talking about just ramming straight into cars.
That part.
To let them know, hey, listen, you ran this light, and you about to pay the price. Anyway, we moving on to the next one, okay? Eric, this has happened to me a few times, and if I could, I would change the law that when I park at a meter, right? If I park at a meter downtown and I get back right as you're writing the ticket to me, you should automatically just rip that thing up, right? Just rip it up like, you made it. You made it. All right, we're going to rip it up. But we got a lot of people who do those jobs. I know it's their job, and I know that's what they're paid to do, but they be power tripping sometimes, Eric. Listen, it's like, sir, listen, I just made it. I'm here. I can move now. Like, sorry, I put it in the system already. Eric, they should require us, if we make it back while they're writing the ticket, they should just rip that thing up.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I think that's something that should be mandatory. But because it's not, I want to look at where you parked at. Did you pay the meter? If you didn't, sometimes they pull up in their little cars and they just kind of I should be able to grab your machine and write you a ticket too and go put it on your car.
Okay, here's my last. If I could, I would. This is a bit controversial, and tell me your perspective. I'm not sure I would do it, but I've talked to others who said they would do this. So I want to bring it to the people today, Eric. If I could, I would take women out of men's sports as officials. Put them in their sport. You referee the women, let men referee the men. What's your thoughts on that, Eric?
So if that's the case, and I agree in some.
You agree with that?
I agree. Okay. But here's the thing: then you would have to remove the men from refereeing their sport, and make it more available to the women to be able to fill in those voids of their refereeing in that sport. I agree. I think again, there's that part that we talked about. There's that part that understanding the dynamics of the physicality and all those things. Yes, you can be book smart. Yes, you can understand it, but can you really understand it? Like, imagine a woman refereeing UFC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
it might be quite difficult. Not saying that it's impossible.
It can't be done, right?
But I think that it would be probably a little bit more, like being able to break two men up and, exert themselves on it. We're not physically created equally, so there may be some challenges there. There may be some challenges. But Eric, thank you for participating. And if I could, I would. I'm gonna hold off on the rest because I feel like we're coming to the end of our time.
We are. And it has been an absolute wonderful, wonderful episode. I've almost sipped all my wine.
Hey, I'm done.
And I've had a good time. And we thank you and hope that you had a good time too. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of WTF We Talk Facts. I'm E. Strick. That is Clester Johnson. And Harrison Arns is on the ones and two. Harrison, we didn't need you today, my boy. But we appreciate
you guys are killing it.
We love you, and hopefully we'll see you next week right here. Same bad time, same bad channel. WTF We Talk Facts. We'll see you next week. Peace.